All right, great morning, superstars. This is your host, Taria Hodge, with another fantastic episode of Social Media Saturdays. And I hope you guys are ready today because I'm super excited to bring you this episode. And the title of this episode is Why Value First is the Best Strategy for Social Media. So if you are out there and you're watching, this is for you. If you are a coach or you are a consultant, and if you want to build your brand and you want to build up your audience and build long-term trust with your audience and convert them into clients. So this is for you if you are looking at your business and that's your intentions, right? You are a coach, you're a consultant, and what you want to do with your business or what you want to do with your brand is be able to build long-term trust with your audience and convert them into long-term clients. So I see that Dee is out there this morning. Great morning, Dee. How are you? Thank you so much for jumping on and joining another fantastic episode of Social Media Saturdays. And so if this is your first time joining in on our Social Media Saturdays broadcast, I just want to go ahead and introduce myself. So I am the host, Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays. And what Social Media Saturdays is, it's a live online broadcast platform that's dedicated to helping entrepreneurs, specifically coaches and consultants, grow their business utilizing tips, tools, strategies, by leveraging the power of social media. So I'm a social media strategist, and what I like to term what I do is I help you make your brand shine online. And when I talk about shining online, I talk about 5 specific things, okay? And when it comes to shining online, I show you how to show up consistently and powerfully on social media. I also help you to hone in on your ideal client. Also, increase your influence and your impact in the marketplace, nurture and build relationships, and ultimately create an experience around your brand. So I see that Anila is out there this morning. Great morning, Anila. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us on this episode of Social Media Saturdays. So if you are out there and you are watching, like I ask every time we do the show, I like to know where our superstars are watching from. So if you are out there and you're tuning into this episode of Social Media Saturdays, do me a favor, just go ahead and drop in the comment section and let me know where you are watching from this morning. Okay, so if you are watching from the DMV area, I always have to get on here and shout out my DMV people. So that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So if you are watching from the DMV area, just go ahead and let me know, Taria, I am watching from the DMV area. Also, if you are watching from any other state across the US, just go ahead and let me know what city and state you are tuning in from. Okay. Then also, if you are watching worldwide, we have superstars all across the globe. We have people that tune in from Italy, Australia, South Africa, the UK. So wherever you are watching from this morning, just go ahead and put it into the comment section. And then last but not least, I can't forget, my Caribbean nations. Okay. So if you are watching from an island nation in the Caribbean, just go ahead and drop a line and let me know what island nation you are watching from. So I see that we have Lawanda Chat Buckingham out there this morning. Great morning, Lawanda. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining Social Media Saturdays. I see that Audrey. Hi, Audrey. I can see your name today. I'm super excited that I can see your name today on the broadcast. So hi, Audrey. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us this morning. And I see that Brenda Williams is out there this morning. Great morning, Brenda. And Brenda is hailing all the way from Michigan this morning. So thank you so much, Brenda, for jumping on and joining. So the next thing that I like to do when we're here on Social Media Saturdays, this is a perfect opportunity for us to do some virtual networking. And I think this is like my favorite part of the show, right? Doing the show, watching all of the virtual networking that happens on Social Media Saturdays. So now that you have shared where you are watching from, I want you to put in the comment section below who you serve in your business and how you serve in your business. Okay, so who do you serve in your business and how do you serve in your business? Now, the reason why I ask people to do that, I ask my superstars to put who they serve and how they serve in their business, is because, like I just mentioned, one of the things that I absolutely love that happens here on the show, it happens on the show, and then it also happens, during the week when people come back and watch the replay, right? So one of the things that I love to see happen is all of the virtual networking. Okay, and so Social Media Saturdays is an awesome community. If you're not a member of a community as yet, I'll share with you how you could join the community a little bit later in the broadcast. But Social Media Saturdays is an awesome community for like-minded individuals to connect. And a lot of times as business owners, especially in this time where we're kind of limited, right? We're kind of limited because we're looking at the current situation, and we're not getting out to as many in-person events as we normally would. So this is a great opportunity for you to still be connected, for you to network, and then let other people know who you serve and how you serve in your business. So I always encourage my superstars to put in the comment section how you serve and who you serve in your business, and how we can connect with you. So whether if that's a Facebook business page that you have and you would love us to go to your Facebook business page where we can check out some of your awesome content. So maybe you are doing videos about what you do and how you serve in your business, and those are on your Facebook business page. I want you to go ahead and put the link to your Facebook business page in the comment section, or even if it's your website, right? So we always want to know who's out there, who's watching, who can we connect with. And don't miss this opportunity, because like I said, I love the networking that happens on the show. And then also when people come back during the week and they watch the replay. So if you're out there and you're catching this on the replay, don't forget to also add your information as well. Okay. And so I see here Impact, a Christian business and professional magazine sharing the stories about successful men and women and their journey of advertising, market, and networking. Okay, so thank you so much for putting that information into the chat section. Audrey is saying, formerly serving teachers in the DMV area who love to travel, but had to pivot during this season now, and she had to pivot during the season. So she's now serving teachers and parents who are homeschooling. Okay, and so it's Audrey Hyman of Homeschool Connections. Thank you so much, and thank you for putting the link for Impact Magazine, D. Williams, into the comment section. So thank you so much for that, D, for putting that information in there. And I see that Lenny is out there this morning. Great morning, Lenny. Thank you so much for posting your information in the feed. Don't forget to tell us a little bit about who you serve and how you serve. And I absolutely love Lenny because she has the most beautiful handcrafted note cards ever. So if you are that business owner and you are looking for that special touch to send to your clients, make sure that you head on over to Noteworthy and then you check out the awesome personalized cards that's created by Lenny. So Lenny, thank you so much for putting that information into the comment section today. Okay. And then the last thing, well, a couple of things. I always get ahead of myself all the time, right? So a couple of things. We're going to have an exciting conversation. I'm always excited when I get a chance to prepare to talk on or share with my superstars on Social Media Saturdays. And today we're talking about having a value first strategy. okay? And I'm going to be answering some of the questions that I got this week about creating value first and how do you position value first in your business and be successful, at it. So if you're on here, you saw the promotions and you decided that this is something that you wanted to learn more about. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. But I'm also going to ask you, to take a minute to share this broadcast out with your network or to your network as well. Okay. So if you know of any other entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, business professionals who are looking to utilize social media better in their business, then definitely you want to take a minute to share this out. Okay. So you could share it on your timeline. A couple of ways you could share. You could share on your timeline. You could share in your community if you manage a group. On social media, whether it's a Facebook community or it's a community some other place else, you could always share afterwards. Okay. Or you could just simply go ahead and tag 5 people in the video that you think this information will benefit them this morning. And I see that Kathy Anderson is out there this morning. Great morning, Kathy. And Kathy is saying that she is watching from Nashville, Tennessee, and then she's serving nonprofit leaders in securing funding to make an impact that they desire. A&E Coaching Group Inc. And thank you, Kathy, for dropping your link to your website into the comment section. Okay. So for those of you who are out there and you run a nonprofit and you're looking for strategies to help you with your nonprofit, to help you grow your nonprofit and to get funding, make sure that you connect with Kathy Anderson. Okay. So I absolutely love it that I see all of the networking. I see all of the cool things that my superstars are out there doing. Great morning, Deborah. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining. And then the last thing before we get into today's content, right? If you have not received the Identify Who You're Called to Serve workbook, okay, so that's the free gift that I'm offering, you still have the opportunity to get the workbook, okay? So if you look into the description of the video, I do believe it's in the description of the video, you'll see the link, okay? So that's one way that you can get the workbook. And I want to give a shout out to Brenda Williams this morning, okay? So Brenda, thank you so much. Brenda went ahead and she grabbed her workbook this morning before the show even started, okay? So Brenda, as you go through your workbook, one of the things that I usually like to share with my superstars is to don't just download it and let it sit in the download library, right? Or the download graveyard, right? Make sure that you download it, you print it, you have a special folder that you keep all of your notes for Social Media Saturdays. So as you are continuing to work on your strategy, right, you'll have all of these awesome notes that will allow you to refer back to, okay? So shout out to you, Brenda, for going ahead and grabbing your workbook this morning, okay? Now, that's one way that you could get it. You could look in the description for the broadcast, and the link is there. But also, if you would like to get the workbook and have it delivered to you via Facebook Messenger, you could type or comment with the word shine in the comment section, okay? So how many of you out there are using messenger bots in your business? If you're using messenger bots in your business, one of the things that I'll share is that this week there was an outage on Facebook. Right? And so if you let me know if you are using messenger bots and you had any type of interruption with your service this week, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say comment with the word shine if you would like to get the workbook via messenger bot. But if it does not work, go to the link in the description, because I know that Facebook had an outage this week, and so some of my stuff and stuff of my clients were affected this week due to the outage. Okay, so if you type the word or you comment with the word shine and you don't get the workbook, just reach out to me via inbox okay? And then I'll send it to you directly, or you could simply just go to the link in the description and you can get the workbook there. Okay. All right. So now we are ready. I got all of the housekeeping stuff out of the way, all of the cool stuff, right? So now we are ready to jump into today's content. And I always get so excited, right, when I talk about showing up to serve and how to serve first, right? And that's what we're talking about today. Why having a value first strategy is the best strategy for social media. And so there was quite a few what's the word, gosh, the word is slipping me. A reason I had some conversations this week, several conversations, right, this week that made me say, you know what, this is a great topic to come in and talk about on Social Media Saturdays, and just kind of shed some insight or kind of first check the temperature on where my superstars are, and then share some insights, some things that I've noticed over the years since I've been doing this. Okay, some of the things that I'm doing now in my business and how I work with my clients to help my clients as well. And then I'm passing this information on to, my superstars, and hopefully it'll be able to bless you and bless you in your business as well as you start to implement more and more strategies in social media. And I see that Reginald Evans is out there. Great morning, Mr. Evans. How are you? Long time, my dear. Thank you so much for jumping in and joining Social Media Saturdays. So, Mr. Evans, don't forget, make sure that you put who you serve and how you serve into the comment section, and how we can connect with you as well. Okay. So what we're talking about today is some of the challenges as coaches and consultants that we face when you are thinking about building your brand on social media, and what can be done to overcome some of those obstacles. Okay. So one of the things that, I spoke about this on our last episode, and I look at how things are changing. So what I talk about, on social media is that social media is not a place for you, to show up and hawk your wares. Okay. So what do I mean by hawking your wares? You just post, the buy from me, product, on social media. Okay. Now I kind of see two ends of the spectrum. So sometimes what I see a lot of is the business owners who, only show up on social media when they have something to promote. Okay. And then they're on social media strong, right? So they're maybe doing a launch, they have a new product, and they're posting about the product. And then after the launch is over, or, whatever goal is accomplished, the time period is gone, then they go dormant. Okay. And you don't hear necessarily anything, from them again. Okay. Until it's time for them to promote the next thing. And then on the other end of the spectrum, what we see is the business owner who's very active on social media. So they do a lot of things to engage on social media, but it's kind of hard for you to tell exactly what it is that they do on social media. Okay. So have any of you ever, came across, brands like that, companies like that? Like, I see this person, they're very active on social media, but I have a very hard time kind of figuring out who they serve and how they serve. Okay. And so what we're going to talk a little bit today is how to create curiosity around your business, create the curiosity around your products and services, and not kind of repelling people when you do it. Okay. So that was one of the things, that came up for me this week that I decided that I'm going to, get on here and talk about today. And then we're also going to talk about how do you do it, right? So how do you deliver value without feeling like you're giving away the farm? So how many of you, have that question in your mind? Okay. So how do I provide a value first strategy, or have a value first strategy in my business without me feeling like I'm giving away everything for free? And then one of the things that, you hear me talk about all the time is that my story around Social Media Saturdays. So, I get the question all the time, like, why do you do the show? And when you do the show, aren't you afraid that you give away so much content on the show that people won't work with you, right? So that's one of the biggest questions that I get in my business. And my short answer to the question is no. Okay. I'm not worried about that at all. Okay. All right. And then also, we're going to talk about how to serve, on social media without being salesy. So, how many of you have that question as well? Like, okay, Taria, we talk about social media. We know social media is an awesome tool for me to get my products, to get my service out there. But how do I utilize it in such a way where I don't come across being salesy? Okay, so those are the three things, okay, that we're going to discuss and we're going to unpack, today. And then I'm going to share with you at the end my number one strategy. Okay, the thing that I implement every time I do a social media Saturdays episode. Number one strategy. So if you want to find out what that number one strategy is, you got to stick with me to the end. Okay, so today is all about how to get your audience excited, keep them excited, and having them want to know or learn a little bit more, or keep them engaged around how you serve them. Okay? All right. So in true social media Saturdays form, what I'm going to do is go over our poll question. Okay? And I have to say, superstars, I'm just going to be honest and I'm going to say it. I was kind of a little disappointed this week, right, with the poll question. And I'm hoping that, you guys could shed some insight on this for me. Okay. So I posted a poll question into our social media Saturdays community, and I did not see hardly any answers to the poll question. I think one person answered the poll question, and that was Lenny. Okay, so I really want to know what is going on with the poll question this week. So did you just not see the poll question, or is it a challenge for you in your business? And if it's a challenge for you in your business, like, we need to talk about it, okay, and see what can be done with it. So the poll question is, what type of lead magnets do you offer in your business? Okay, so what type of lead magnets do you offer in your business? All right, that's the poll question. If someone can just drop that into the comment section for me. What type of lead magnets do you offer in your business? Okay, and so I gave 5 options, but I want you to know that you're not limited to 5 types of lead magnets. Okay, I just listed the 5 most popular ones. Okay, so if you create checklists as your lead magnets, or as a lead magnet, you have a checklist, do me a favor and type a 1, comment with a 1 into the comment section. Okay. Deborah was telling me, Deborah is saying that Facebook was acting strange and I couldn't get to the poll question. Okay, Deborah, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me know that, because I was kind of concerned. Okay, I just like, wait a minute, what's going on? My superstars are not, providing lead magnets in their business. Really, what's going on? Okay, so if you're out there and you are creating, or you have a checklist as a lead magnet in your business, I want you to go ahead and drop a 1 into the comment section. Okay, if you create cheat sheets. Okay, so everyone knows what a cheat sheet is, right? A cheat sheet is just a simple, easy way for you to let your audience know how to do something. So you figured out a process around something, and what you decided to do is just create a quick cheat sheet to make it easy and provide value for your audience. Okay, so if you do cheat sheets, or you have a cheat sheet as your lead magnet, okay, go ahead and drop a 2 into the comment section and let me know, Taria, I have an awesome cheat sheet as my lead magnet. Okay, how many of you create swipe files? Like, I love swipe files. Okay, and so what do I mean by swipe files? once again, swipe files, or when I look at swipe files, I look at swipe files like around content. Okay, so maybe you are out there and you did a social campaign, and the campaign was a winning campaign, and you now want to go ahead and share with your audience some of the languaging that you use to either maybe create a post, maybe to promote your webinar, whatever it is, your Facebook Live, and you just create a swipe file, right? So if you create swipe files, okay, just go ahead and drop a 3 into the comment section, and then let me know that you have a lead magnet that contains swipe files. The fourth one is case studies. So how many of you out there have case studies in your business that you share as a lead magnet? And case studies are very powerful, by the way. Okay, so how many of you create or have a case study as a lead magnet or provide case studies? And when we talk about case studies is just a process or showing how you have taken either a campaign or taken a client through a specific process. Okay, and now you're sharing with your audience the result of that process. Okay, so if you are doing case studies for your lead magnets, just go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know, yes, I have created case studies, or number 4, just type a 4. Okay, and then last but not least, how many of you develop software for your business? Okay, and you have applications that you have developed, and as a way for you to get people interested into what you do in your business, you offer some type of web application or a web app, right, as a lead magnet. So if that's you, go ahead and comment with a 5 into the comment section. Okay, and so like I said, I'm really interested to know what my superstars are doing as far as strategy with their social media. So I thought it would be a really great thing to ask on this broadcast is, what type of lead magnets do you offer in your business? And then I'm going to share with you how it all plays in, how it all ties in to what we're talking about today. Okay, so go ahead and just make sure that you answer the poll question, and then let me know. Okay, so I'm going to share this. So this week, I had the opportunity to do some social listening. So that's my big thing, right? So did quite a bit of social listening this week on social media. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things that I saw this week, and I found it very interesting. Okay, so I had the opportunity to watch a Facebook Live this week. Okay, so I'm not gonna name the business, name the company, the brand, or anything like that. Okay, and I found that this live was very interesting in the sense is that as soon as the live started, what happened was the person, right, immediately started to talk about their products and their services and started positioning for the sale, like immediately after the camera started rolling, right? And I thought that was very interesting. Okay, so that person did not address any pain points. They did not share who it was for. Didn't even say like why someone would need it. Okay, and all I kept thinking about as I watched that video, okay, was how it made me feel as a viewer. Okay, and then also if anyone else who watched the live video, how they felt watching the Facebook Live. Okay, and so that was my thing. So I decided to talk a little bit about that today on Social Media Saturdays. So how many of you have ever felt that way? right? That you saw a post or you watch, especially a video, and then immediately on the video, the person started positioning or selling something on the video. Okay. And I want you to share in the comment section and just let me kind of know how that has made you feel. Okay. So, how many of you have ever had that experience, right? Where you tune into somebody's live video and immediately they started positioning their products and their services, and you're kind of left wondering, like, oh, wow, I'm not even sure if this is for me. They didn't address the pain points, they didn't say who it was for, they didn't even share why someone would need it, what's the benefits. Okay. So if you've ever had that experience, just go ahead and just let me know. And then also, share with me how that experience made you feel. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that on our broadcast this morning is because I realized that the scope of social media has changed. Okay. And, I've been in this space for quite some time. And I remember when the conversation was, why do I need to be on social media? Okay. And way back then, online marketers, were killing the game on social media because they understood the power of social media as far as the reach of people, right? So social media is, the thing that connects people all across the world, right? Social media has made the world, so much smaller. And then in the beginning, what early marketers understood is that, what, this is a great opportunity for me to position my products and services and get my products and services seen, by a whole bunch of people. Okay. And then they kind of play like the numbers game. Okay. So if I get X amount of exposure, or if I could pay for X amount of exposure, okay, then logically what's going to happen, X amount of people are going to follow through, buy the product or whatever. And then what I've seen happen over the years, just like with anything else, social media is no different. Okay. Competition. So the more and more business owners, especially the entrepreneurs, like new entrepreneurs who are starting out, right? And that's definitely my story. So I tell people that all the time. What became attractive for me on social media was the opportunity for me to market my business, okay, and connect with my, ideal clients, perfect clients, okay, without having to have a huge marketing budget. Okay. So that was definitely an eye opener and the attraction piece for me with social media. And so as I learned strategies, I decided to go ahead and teach other coaches and consultants strategies on how to leverage the power of social media. So that's my backstory on why I do what I do. Okay. But what I was saying is, like, things have changed. So we have more competition now on social media. And what we're all doing is competing for our audience attention. Okay. And so it becomes now very imperative for us, as the marketers. And I want everyone, when you're on social media Saturdays, to think, you got to put on your marketing hat, right? So start to think of yourself as a marketer. For us as the marketers, how are we creating an experience that will allow us to stand out from our competitors? Okay. So what is the experience that people are going to have with our brand, okay, with our business, and showcase our me only, that would allow them to raise their hand and say, what, I want to work with you. Okay. And so, those are some of the things that have changed in the scope of social media. And so, we could no longer, just be out there just positioning products and services and hoping and praying that we play the numbers game, and then enough people just see it, and, we just let the numbers do their thing. No, it's all about, being conscious about that experience that you are creating for your audience when they connect with you. And one of the things that I like to talk about is that people are having that experience even before we know they're having that experience. So a lot of times people are checking us out on social media and we have no idea that they're checking us out on social media. So we always want to make sure that we are conscious about the experience that we are creating on social media. Okay. Um, so D is saying, yes, what makes our business shine from others? And that's it, D. Okay. So it's like no longer, we should be looking at social media as the place to just go ahead and wing it. Okay. Like when you do social media like the right way, it's one of the most powerful tools that you could have in your business. Okay. But the thing is, is always keeping in the forefront of your mind, what's the strategy. And like I shared last week, okay, when you take a look at your social media, what's the goal? Right? So before you post, before you share content, before you do that live video, do you have on the forefront of your mind the goal that you want to achieve with your social media? Okay. And so that was one of the things, like I said, I had to come on here today and talk about it. So Audrey is saying, yes, I had that experience and I got the impression was the sale was the most important thing. Yeah, it kind of lets you kind of feel wanting, right, Audrey? Is like, okay, and I know a lot of times what most people would have done, most people would have clicked off of the video, right? Most people would not have even stayed on the video, watched to the end. They would have just like kind of ghosted, right? But it was very interesting to me. So I took the time, to kind of watch, see what was going on, see how it ended up. I stayed all the way to the end. I was just curious, right? And of course, superstars, you know what I did, right? I kind of reached out. So hopefully I'll be able to share with you how that conversation goes. We have not had the conversation as yet. Okay. But I wanted to bring that up just to make sure that, as superstars, right, you're not making the same mistake in your business. Okay. Because it was very painful, for me to watch. Okay. And I just almost kind of like, I'm curious now, to know what was, the result, even though I kind of know in my mind, but I would like to get some confirmation on what the results, if they had any goals, what they were expecting to happen, and if their expectations were met on the video. Okay. So that led me to, put together, our content. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to create curiosity and not resistance with your social media. Okay. So how many of you, know exactly what I mean about creating curiosity and not resistance? Okay. So one of the things you definitely don't want to do when you are on social media is repelling your audience. Okay. And one of the quickest and easiest way for you to repel your audience is for you to show up and just be salesy and position the sale. And like Audrey says, you don't give your audience the opportunity to feel like you have their best interest at heart. Okay. And then that's the kind of, the feeling, the tone that we want to create with our brands on social media, right? We always want to let our audience know that we care. Okay. And our interest is to help them move forward to that transformation that we provide that they are looking for. Okay. So when someone connects with your brand, okay, how are you helping them, move from their pain point over to their pain of transformation? Okay. And it's all about how you do it. Okay. And like I said, when you're on social media, you don't have to solve, world hunger, in your posts. You don't have to solve world hunger on your Facebook Live videos. Okay. But just make sure that you are leading with the value. Okay. So when it comes to creating curiosity around your products and your services. It's all about being able to communicate or paint the picture of what that experience of working with you would look like. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a few things that if you have not started doing this in your business as yet, um, I want you to start to consider, and this is why I always go back to talking about planning out your social media content, right? So once you plan out your content, whether you're doing a Facebook Live, you're writing a blog, or you're just doing social posts, these are some of the things for you to keep on the forefront of your mind, okay? So one of the easiest ways that you can create curiosity around your products and your services is sharing success stories. Okay, so sharing success stories is like one of the biggest things that you can do. And your success stories could be about you, or it could be about the experience that you are helping your clients get. Okay, so one of the things that I get excited and I talk about is like my superstars, because I'm watching and I tell my superstars all the time, like I'm peeping, right? I go in and I look, I check out your business pages, I check out your videos, I see, all of the stuff that's happening. Okay. And I, love working with clients and then watching my clients, experience those transformations, okay, in their business, and just moving past the challenge points. Okay, so do you have success stories that you can share with your audience, okay, about how you can help them achieve their goals? Okay, so it could either be financial success, if that's what you are going after. What does the financial freedom look like, or the financial gains would look like after they work with you, if that's what you do? Or do you have product success? Okay, so after people engage with you, your products, your services, how is their life different? How have you been able to help them transform? So that's one of the greatest ways that you could create curiosity around your brand, is to share success stories. Okay, and it doesn't allow you to show up as, salesy or pushy. Just talk about how you've helped other people transform. Okay, then also talk about the benefits. That's the second thing. Okay, a lot of times we stay in the product, okay, and we talk about the product or the what of the product, but very rarely we talk about the benefit of the product. So do you know the 3 to 5 benefits that your product provides, or your service provides, or your program provides? What's the benefits? Okay, and start to talk about the benefit of being of working with you. Those are great things that you could show value and use in your social media content strategy. Okay, also photos. Okay, so how many of you out there, as you start to take a look at your social media, you are showing or providing imagery to let people know what it looks like to have an experience with you? So are you doing masterminds? Are you doing webinars? Okay, are people coming in and flying in to work with you in intensives, workshops? And are you capturing, okay, that experience by the way of video, or you're capturing that experience by the way of photos? Okay, so don't be afraid. A lot of us sometimes are working with people in silence, right? And people have no idea what the experience is like to work with us, because we aren't showing any of that experience. And this is a big one. Okay, because one of the things that I hear all the time is people want to share the experience, but they don't want to come across like they're self-centered or they're bragging. right? So how many of you have actually felt that way? Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to seem too flashy or whatever. So you could just kind of keep your stuff hidden. And I'm just here to say today, don't hide it, okay? Show people as much as you can what the experience looks like when they work with you, okay? Also, start to showcase your lifestyle as well. And then this is one of the things that I'll just share with me, personally. So you hear, I share all the time that I do half and half, right? And then a lot of times people ask me all the time, how is that even possible? Okay, so how do you manage to spend half of your year in the Virgin Islands? And as you can hear the chickens outside, how do you spend half of your year in the Virgin Islands and then the other half of your year in on the continental US in Maryland? Okay, and people are always curious, okay, to know what life is like on the island. So as much as I can, I share, my experience, about being home, okay, and just enjoying that lifestyle, okay. So talk about showcase your lifestyle. And then finally, like the one that I love the most, okay, one of the best ways to create curiosity around your business, around your brand, and provide value is to teach. Okay. Oh my gosh. Teach people something. Okay. Whatever it is that you do in your business, that you help them, that you help people achieve their transformation, just go out and teach it. Okay, teach it, right? Show someone, what you have discovered. Okay, how would this help you in your life and in your business and help them achieve that transformation as well? Okay, and the reason why I love this one, and this is absolutely my favorite one, okay, is the educational one, right? So this is why I do social media Saturdays every Saturdays, because the hidden benefit of being able to teach what you do is one of the quickest ways for you to become an authority, or to be seen as an authority, or to be seen as an expert. Okay, so make sure that whenever you have the opportunity to provide that value, okay, make sure that you are showing up in a teaching capacity and you're building your authority by sharing what you know. Okay, so let's see here if we have any other questions. Now I know I need help because I'm not doing any of these effectively. Okay, so yeah, Audrey, it's one of those things, right? That I share all the time. Like when it comes to our social media, right? The scope, first of all, of social media is changing. Okay, so we really do have to be conscious about the experience that people are having with us, right? And when I list out these five things, right, that you could create curiosity around your business, I didn't share them, to overwhelm anyone, right? I shared them in the vein, for you to have things that you could think about, okay, and then have some fun around your brand as well. Okay, so have some fun with it. Okay, so what are some of the fun things that you can do to showcase that experience that people will have with you? So thank you, Audrey, for sharing that. Okay, all right, great morning, Cecile. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining Social Media Saturdays. So now we're gonna move on and we're gonna talk about the next question, big topic for the week is how to deliver value without giving away the farm. Okay, so how many of you out there are struggling with this one, right? So how do I, Taria, consistently deliver value without feeling like I'm giving away the farm? Okay, so if that's you out there and you're wondering how do you do that, or you're struggling with that, just go ahead and drop a comment and then let me know. Okay, so Dee is saying that I teach clients the value of advertising and the impact it makes on them personally as well as their products and services. Yeah, so D, if you have specific strategies, tips, tools, applications, yeah, share it, right? And so that leads into the second part, because one of the things that I find that people and I'm trying to say this right in a politically correct way. The reason why some people kind of struggle with it is because, like I said before, right? They kind of have this fear that if I, you know, share and I teach and I give the tips and everything, right? That I would give too much and then people won't work with me. Okay. And I hear that a lot. Okay. And one of the things that I'll share with you is, like I keep saying it, there's so much, competition out there in the marketplace now. And what we're doing is we're vying for our audience attention. So what is it going to be that's going to separate you from your competitors? Okay. And my strategy is I'm just gonna outgive them in value. Okay, that's it. Just outgive in value. Period. There's no other way to say that, right? And one of the things that I'll share is I had, and then this has been my experience. So this is why I talk about this, right? So one of the things that, fortunately for me, coming into this space, is that I had the opportunity to work with some awesome brands. Okay. And when I say awesome, an amazing brands, an amazing team who understood the value, right, of just giving value. And I remember, like, that was one of the things, like, we're just going to outgive. Okay, we're just going to outgive the competition. How are you going to outgive the competition? Okay. And so that was one of the things that stuck with me, throughout my experience, is just how do you show, and now I say show up and serve, right? So how do you show up and serve? And as I go through, this journey, I look at the difference, okay, of some companies versus others. And it's almost like, some people, they're kind of holding on tight to their stuff. And there's a saying, right? When your fist is closed, nothing can come out, but also nothing could come in, right? And when I look at the other brands who serve, and they serve freely, okay, not only are they open to give freely, but they're also open to receive freely. Okay. So that's been my experience. Okay. And so that's why I talk about it all the time. And I share, like, serving, the act of being in service and giving value has opened way more doors for me in my business than, my money ever could. So I have no problem saying that. Okay. Just in case anyone was wondering, I have no problem saying that, right? So how do you deliver value? How do you show up and serve? And then sometimes is that serving, not sometimes, but it is that serving that unlocks, okay, those doors for you. Seeing that D says, sometimes if you give more, it shows the transparency and honesty of you. Okay, so I hope that word that you meant to say, D is shows, right? So sometimes if you give more, it shows the transparency and the honesty of you. And a closed fist has no room for God's plan. I love it, D. D, you're gonna hear that again. A closed fist has no room for God's plan. I love it. Yeah, so that's the thing, D. Right? A lot of times people just kind of like get locked into the my stuff. I don't want to give this away. I don't want to give this away. But the flip side to it is, people are left struggling, to really find out, like, how you could help them. Okay. And it's one of the things that I hear like all the time in the marketplace, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because these are real conversations. Let me just say this. These are real conversations that I have all the time. Okay. And so I hear people talking about, investing, with a coach, or investing, with a consultant, and then the experience was lacking. Okay. And then sometimes I'm left to, ask the question, like, what made you, invest with that particular coach, or what made you invest, with that particular consultant to grow your business, right? And did you have everything like that you needed to help you make the decision? And it wasn't just an emotional decision, right? So show up and serve. For those of you who are really interested in growing your business and growing your business with the right clients, not just getting the clients by numbers, but having, I mean, if your business model supports this, I know my business model does. Okay. My business model supports me having long-term clients. Okay. So if that's your business model that you're looking for, where you have long-term clients, you're looking to build loyalty amongst your audience, and then build loyalty among your clients, then the only way that you do that is having a value first strategy. Okay. And so the question is, how do you deliver the value without feeling like you're giving away the farm? Okay. So I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you should, and then we're going to discuss it a little bit more. Okay. So the first thing, like I just said it, I keep saying it, is the number one way for you to build trust in your brand. Okay. So let people know, okay, that you know what you are talking about. Let people know that you know what you're doing, how you could help them get to, their from their pain point over to the pain of transformation. So build the trust. Also, lead generation. Okay. So how many of you in your value first strategy, like you're really consciously thinking about, the things that I provide, its value, but how am I going to turn it around and make it a benefit for my company, which is the lead magnet? That's the reason why I asked the poll question. Okay. So as you deliver value, whether it's in the form of a checklist, a swipe file, your web applications, whatever it is that you are doing or giving with value, are you providing that value in such a way that it benefits your business? Are you able to build your list with it? Okay. And have a lead generation strategy. So that's the second thing. Okay. The third reason, okay, is SEO optimization. So how many of you are thinking about how you're driving traffic to your website as you deliver value? Okay. And I'm just going to say this. I know there's a lot of people out there who are spending thousands of dollars on websites. Okay. And nothing is wrong with that. The question that I'm going to ask you is, how are you getting the traffic to your website? And are you driving traffic to your website on a regular and consistent basis? Okay. So what is it that you have like of value on your site that you could repeatedly send your audience to? Okay. And then last but not least, a great way for you to generate sales in your business. Value, value, value. So how are you positioning the value before you even ask for the sale? Okay. So now I'm going to ask the question. Okay. So which school are you from? Okay. So are you from the school where you give your best content for free? Or are you from the school, the second school, that you share what you do, why you do it, but you keep the how you do it to yourself? Okay. And I'm not saying either one is wrong. Okay. I just want to know, when it comes to, delivering value, which school of thought are you from? Okay, so are you from the school of thought that says, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come here and I'm just going to lay it all on the table. Okay, so are you laying everything on the table, and are you sharing everything that you know with your audience? Or are you from the school of thought where you are going to share the what, the why, okay, but you keep the how? And when people work with you, then they get the opportunity to know the how. Okay, so I see that Mike of Broadcastings is out there, and then Mike is from the school of Show Me the Money, right? So Mike is saying that he keeps the how to himself, right? So he'll talk about the what, he'll talk about the why, okay, and then if you want to know the how, then you have to work with him. So anyone else, okay, let me know which side of the fence do you stand on? Okay, so Barbara is sharing, share good content and keep the how. Great, Barbara. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so share great content, and then when people want to know the how, they engage in your products and the services to know the how. Okay, and like I said, there's no right, or wrong answer, for this one. It's just, what school, do you come from? Okay, and does it, whichever one is in alignment, like, with your business. Okay, so for some people, when they take a look at, their content, okay, they could share content, okay, and they have no problems, talking about their content. They understand that it builds credibility for their business. Okay, but it's not about giving away their secret sauce. Or you could share content with your audience, but you also know that, what, they're going to need some help in implementing all of the things that you share with them. Right. And so I've seen it both ways. Okay. Where some people say, what, I'm just going to give. And then when I give, I know, okay, that in order for them to successfully execute, they're going to need some help. Right. And, that's the trigger to have people come back and work with you. And then I also know, other companies that says, hey, I'll expose the why, I'll expose the what. Okay. But when you want to know the how, then you have to engage, okay, in our services to know the how. Okay. So Barbara is saying, I used to be the give it all away until Shay Brown and you taught me to save the best for last. Okay. So not Barbara, I'm sorry, D. It's very interesting that you said that, because I'm going to share with you a conversation that I had yesterday. Okay. And for those of you, okay, who feel like you are giving it all away. So there's a difference. Let me just say this, right? So there's definitely a difference in you providing value. And I'm just going to call it what it is, because I've been there, right? Giving value and then being scared to offer your products and your services, right? So I was just having this conversation yesterday. So sometimes what happens, right, is we give the value, we're thinking we're giving value, but the reason why we give everything away for free is because deep down inside, we're really too scared to position our products and our services for sale, right? Or ask for the money. And I'm just going to say, hey, you can't be afraid to ask for the money. Okay. So as you are giving value and you're showing value, to your audience, when it comes time for you to position, and there's definitely, the time for you to position for the sale. So I'm not talking about just sitting there giving away stuff for free all willy-nilly. That's not what I'm talking about, right? What I'm talking about is delivering the value before you position for the sale. So when you position for the sale, right, you don't go weak in the knees don't buckle, right? You don't stutter, stammer, and then in the back of your mind say, forget it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it for free. Okay. And so that's the thing that I want people to be present to. And that's why I share, right? Like, I have no problems doing, the show and talking about the stuff that I share, right? Because what I know, and I say this all the time, what I know for people who are out there, if you're the coach and the consultant out there and you're thinking that all you need to build a successful social media strategy is to tune in on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and that's all that you need. And then you're just going to download, the free resources that I give, and then that's all you need. Then what I know for sure is that that's not it. Okay. And you're not my client, but it's okay. I'll be here when you're ready. That's my thing. But for the serious coaches and consultants who know that they're ready to make that shift in their business and for real, put these strategies into place, then they're ready to engage in a deeper conversation. And then when they're engaging in that deeper conversation, I can't buckle at the knees, right? Because that's also value. I have to be able to show up in a way to say, hey, this is how I could provide more value, okay? Because my paid services also definitely carry value, okay? So D is saying no more free 99, okay? So yeah, that's the thing. There's a difference, D, of showing up with a heart to serve, okay, and then sitting down thinking that you're going to just give everything in your business away for free because you're still shy about asking for the sale or positioning the sale. Okay, so Tracy is out here saying my friend who is in sales tell me not to give it all away. I definitely am trying to help people, so I may give too much, but I try to hold back on the how. Okay. So thank you, Tracy, so much for sharing that with us this morning. Okay. So like I said, Tracy, and that's the reason why I asked the question about the lead magnet. Okay. So I was in my little feelings, this week when I didn't see too many people answer the question about the lead magnet. Okay. And so I want you guys to really think about this, right? Things that people are asking you for all the time in your business. Start to think about how you could strategically position those things and then turn it around as a benefit, for you. Okay. So one of the things that I get asked all the time, right, is how to identify my ideal client. It's like one of the biggest, top, foremost questions when it comes to social media, right? Social media is such a big, broad place. Everyone is on social media. So how do you find your perfect people on social media in the sea, of people? So people ask me that all the time. So what did I do? I created how to identify who you are called to serve workbook. I turned it into a lead magnet. Okay, that's a value. Okay, so I know some of you on here, have gotten the workbook, right? So you've gotten the workbook, you see the value inside of the workbook. And so that's something that I offered for free that's of value. Okay, but it also allows people to come into my process that I could step them through my journey. Okay, so does that make sense? So Mike is saying close the deal and ask them questions later. Mike, I'm not too sure, Mike, if that one was work. So I want to shout Mike out for joining us on Periscope. Okay, so thank you, Mike, for tuning in and watching on Periscope. Thank you so much for the love. Okay, so so that's it. Okay, so I hope that this resonates with with my superstars. Okay, and you're not in the mindset like I'm looking at D, and D is saying no more free 99, right? So yeah, we're not looking at giving away what should be paid, content in our business, but we're talking about delivering value, okay? So we could build a trust that will showcase to people how, we work with them and how we could help them move from their pain points over to the point of transformation that they want to receive, okay? Now, the third thing that I want to share before we go ahead and wrap up our call today is how exactly do you do that? How do you do it without being salesy? Right? So here's one of the really cool things that, I learned coming through this space. Let me just say this, coming through this space and how things have changed within, I want to say, the past 2 to 3 years, okay? Because things are always changing, things are always evolving. Okay. And so one of the biggest things is, how do I offer my products and services on social media? So we talk about, once again, the brands who are out there, and it seems like all they're doing is hawking their wares, right? Like when you take a look at their posts, it's buy from me, buy from me. This is what I have to offer, buy from me. And like I said, it kind of leaves you feeling wanting, right? So I'm going to share with you 3 things, okay, that are great ways for you to position your products and services without you being salesy. Okay, so are you guys ready? So who's going to put the notes into the comment section? Okay, so the first thing, if you have a product, you have a service that you are offering, great way for you to work with your audience, okay? A great way to do that is to do exactly what I'm doing now. So you could do Facebook lives or live videos. Doesn't necessarily have to be on Facebook, but you could do live videos on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn now does live videos, Instagram, right? Or any other place that would allow you to, implement video marketing strategies, okay? So Facebook Lives, it's a great way for you to show up and serve before you position for the sale, okay? So make sure that you are addressing, the challenges, the pain points, who it's for, the transformation that your products and your services will allow you to get them to the transformation. You could do that, on your Facebook Lives, and you could talk about it, okay? Also, challenges. Okay, so how many of you out there do challenges in your business, whether it's a 3-day challenge, a 5-day challenge? I've seen 21-day challenges. I've seen 30-day challenges. And why are challenges so cool? Challenges are really cool because, once again, it's that sneak peek of what it would be like to work with you. Okay, so if you're out there, you're doing challenges for your business, kudos for you. And if you're not, and you're kind of wondering, should I or should I not do a challenge? I'm just going to say, challenges are a great way for you to show up and serve, and then also position what you have to offer, your next step, without you being salesy, right? So value before you position for the sale. Okay. Also, webinars. Webinars are another great way. So I'm going to say webinars and masterclasses, right? So do you have a webinar, or do you have a masterclass, or that you are going to go deep into a subject, okay? And then let your audience know that, hey, this is the problem, and this is how I specifically help you with this challenge, okay? And then if you want to work with me on that, then you're able to position your program or your product or your service, right? So those are like the 3 things, okay, that would allow you to show up and serve without being salesy, that would allow you to give value, right, without coming off as salesy, right? So your Facebook Lives, challenges, and your webinars and your master classes. Okay, so Dee is saying, if you have a product or service, do live on Facebook to attract your ideal clients. Yes, Dee. Okay, and then do challenges. Thank you, Dee, for putting the notes into the comment section. And thank you, Barbara, for also putting the notes into the comment section as well. Okay. So, yeah, so these are all great ways, okay, that you could implement a value first strategy in your business before you position for the sale. And then by time you position for the sale, it makes sense. Okay. So people now have a sense of how, okay, you are going to help them overcome their challenge. Okay, they have a sense of what the experience would be like to work with you. Okay, makes sense. So this is the reason why, like, I'm talking about it, because like I see people like bumping their head up against this one like all the time, right? And it is possible, for you to use social media very effective. Like I said, it's the like number one tool in my business, right? And now you guys could do the same. Okay. And I did mention that I was going to share my number one strategy that you should implement. Okay. And so here's the thing. One of the things that I am very conscious about, if not the top thing that I'm conscious about every time I do social media Saturdays, is how am I going to generate leads, right? So how am I generating leads, through my social media? Okay. And so one of the things that you guys have seen me do, I do it all the time, is first of all, have some type of free offer, once again, value that you're giving away. If you're going to do a Facebook Live, or if you're doing a challenge, you're doing a masterclass, right? How are you giving yourself the opportunity to build your email list? And why is building your email list so important? Because it keeps you in conversation. Okay, it keeps you in conversation. So don't forget. Okay, if you don't have a lead magnet as yet, you want to start to think about what would be a perfect lead magnet or lead magnets that you can create in your business. And then don't be afraid to position your lead magnets. So a lot of times we create these things and they're sitting like in the vault and no one knows about them. Okay, and we forget to pull them out and dust them off and utilize them. So you should have a goal. Okay, so you should have a goal set in your business on how many people you're going to serve with your lead magnet. Okay, so if you haven't thought about it, that way, like, I want you to start thinking about it, right? How many people am I going to serve by getting my lead magnet into their hands? And if you look at it that way and you make a game out of it, then you'll find that you wouldn't forget, to offer it. Okay. And so Barbara is saying the number one way is to generate leads. Dee is saying, thank you so much, Taria. Impact as always. Blessings, everyone. Stay healthy and safe. All right, Barbara. All right, Dee. I keep calling you Barbara. I don't know why I'm calling you Barbara today, Dee, but thank you so much, Dee, for jumping on and joining us this morning. Thank you, hon. And Barbara is saying generate leads. Okay. And Mike, who's on Periscope, is also saying getting contacts is good. Yeah, that's the number one thing that we always want to make sure, right? Is that we are positioning ourselves to get in deeper conversation. Okay. And so we are getting ready to wrap up our episode today. So are there any questions, any last minute comments that I could answer for you before we close out today's episode? Okay. And once again, for those of you who are out there, you tune in and you're watching, and these things are like really hitting for you, and you're saying to yourself that you're ready to take the next step, what I'm offering is the opportunity to have a complimentary 30-minute discovery session. Okay, and I just put the link for the discovery session on the screen, and I'm going to drop it into the comment section. Okay, so if you know that you are ready to move forward and have a conversation, and then you want to know how you could implement these things into your social media strategy, so you could do what? So you could shine online. Okay, so you could build your brand, have more of the perfect people in your business, then let's talk about it. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop the link into the comment section. And like I said, this is our opportunity to get on a 30-minute call. So once again, this is another one of my value adds, okay, that I have here in Social Media Saturdays. Okay, so let's get in conversation. Let's talk about it. Okay, and then see how we can help. Okay, and Barbara is saying, yes, this is something I need to do better. So yes, Barbara, I know definitely. I'm super excited to see what you have coming down the pike. You are also in our mastermind, and so these are the things that I'm looking forward to seeing you execute in your business. Okay, so Barbara, I want you to do me a favor. Don't forget, Barbara, to put who you serve and how you serve in your business and the link to where we could connect with you. And one of the things that I love that Barbara is doing, Barbara is the founder of Coaches on Principles on the Come Up. Okay, and I know many of us have a lot of questions. Okay, so whether you're a principal, you're a teacher, or Barbara even has information for parents in this day and time where, you know, we're getting ready to position for our kids, you know, to go back to school and make sure that they're getting optimal learning. Barbara does excellent Facebook Lives, you know, just sharing and exposing, you know, all of the challenge areas and then what we can do, you know, as a community to best help our children. So Barbara, please don't miss the opportunity to share in the comment section how we can connect with you. Okay. And Vernie is out there. Thank you so much, Vernie, for jumping on and joining us this morning. And Vernie is saying this is the first time. Thank you. And I will contact you this weekend. You are welcome, Vernie. I am looking forward to having a conversation with you. So once again, if you are joining us for the first time, I just want to first thank you for tuning in to Social Media Saturdays. If you are not a member of our Social Media Saturdays community, we do have a Facebook community called Social Media Saturdays, helping you to serve, share, and shine. So make sure you head on over to our Facebook group and knock on the door and we'll let you in. We stay in conversation all week, okay? So you don't have to wait until the episodes on Saturday to ask your question, okay? So head on over to the community. If you are on Instagram, you could follow us on Instagram as at Watch SMS Live for Watch Social Media Saturdays Live. We're also on Twitter. So thank you, Mike Broadcasting, for tuning in and joining us from Periscope, okay, this morning. Thank you so much for the love. Okay, so if you are following us on Twitter, you could follow us on Twitter at Watch SMS Live as well. The same thing, we are on YouTube, okay? So if you want to catch a category, you know, of all of our videos and you're on YouTube, you can go over to YouTube at Social Media Saturdays. We're there. And then also, if you're on LinkedIn, you could connect with me directly at Taria Hodge on LinkedIn, okay? And so, guys, thank you once again for tuning in, and I am going to wrap up our segment, and I hope that this segment served today. Okay, thank you guys. Next time, bye-bye.